Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
This is episode 133, Christmas Vignette Inspiration. And we love our vignettes.
Yes,
so
one of my
is
faves.
the time of year.
Tis the season.
I know. So we're focused on Christmas. Let's get on to our Christmas vignette decorating because, you know, we're all about the vignette and it is Christmas time.
Dudes, I was vignetting like a wild thing yesterday. Okay. Like
You are a wild thing, vignette or no vignette.
I love that. I love that you said that. Thank you. But oh my gosh, for everybody who I didn't text last night, I texted Anita and Vaughn. I'm sitting on my porch in the dark. Well, I had, by the Christmas twinkle lights. I just decorated my porch for a tour that I'm on this week. This is just the craziest week for being a blogger for everyone I know. So I'm not alone in this. And my daughter comes to the door and she's like, I see her mouthing, "I'm hungry."
Oh, just ignore her. She'll be fine.
You say just a minute.
No, I mouthed back, "I am too." We're still going to keep doing it. And so she opens the door crack. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, of course I'm wrapping empty boxes to put in my newly spray painted sleigh." What else do you think I'm doing? Let's order
I've
a
heard
pizza.
of this new thing to keep your kids in check. You wrap all these.
Taser?
No, well, not that. Not that. You wrap all these empty boxes and put them under the Christmas tree. And when they're really bad, you take one and you throw it in the fire.
Oh, that's just mean, Anita Jean.
It's not wrong. No, I didn't. No, I'm just repeating what I saw on Facebook.
Wow.
I have
Stay
a good
off
tip.
Facebook. That's a mean place.
I have a
It
good
is mean.
tip.
I couldn't do that to my kids, but it was
No.
funny. But I thought, I would never
That
do
was
that.
And you might get puff back and then you'd have to repaint. It's not worth it.
Hey, I've got a great idea because I have empty boxes out on my front porch too. And I'm in the same porch tour that you are. We want to say hello to Amy from Atta Girl Says. She's organized this whole thing. And I got a lot of comments about, I can't keep any packages on my porch. They blow away. And I had one really savvy reader whose name is Victoria. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
And she said, put a brick in it before you
Nice.
wrap it.
Well, see, I would think
Whoa.
here they're not
Victoria.
blowing away. They're being picked up and carried away.
Well, there
Well,
you
maybe
go.
they'll think twice
So
if
the
they
brick
feel
wouldn't
how
help
heavy
here.
it is. Put a few bricks.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Anita, they won't come back and steal anything from your house anymore because you're getting an empty box.
That's right. That's
it might
right.
be
They're
the
all
best
empty.
thing you could do.
Put coal in it, Anita, and when they open it up, put a little note. You've been bad this year from
Well,
Santa.
I remember when somebody broke into Kevin's car and they thought they were getting some computer in his bag and all they got was, an iPad full of Christian sermons. And I'm thinking, great.
Hey, that's the person that needs those.
Oh, God, you're so right. Yes, that was God's
Yeah.
work right there.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
literally.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I think we have a topic today. I'm not sure. I can't remember if we have a topic. Hey,
Yes, Christmas vignettes. What are
Christmas
you gonna put in
vignettes.
it?
But can I just dial back to Thanksgiving for a minute? Because I have
Yes.
to tell you, we have gotten, and if I miss somebody, I will make it up to you and say your name on another day. But Hadley, she was emailed us and sent the most beautiful photos of her Thanksgiving, and it was stunning. She hosted for this first time and she had so much fun, and she made her own version of Yvonne's burlap and button napkin rings.
I saw that. So
adorable.
Yes.
Thank you, Hadley. Thank you for sharing that with us. We're so happy to see that. And then Laura, who we talked about in the previous episode, she did a follow-up. She was the one that found the yogurt. And Laura, you're going to crack up. When we got on today to start talking to each other on the microphones, I hear this spoon going clink, 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 clink. Yvonne's got her spoon in the 5-ounce jar of wheat yogurt.
I just found it, and that was my lunch today.
She took your tip and went out and got some. Is that the funniest thing? So anyway, we loved seeing Laura Laura was she was the one that was going to use those little jars on her Thanksgiving table, but obviously she was too busy, and it's fine. She couldn't get photos of that day, but then she took pictures of her leftover day, which was just as fabulous, and
wonderful.
Sent those to us. And she had another great idea about putting the dome of I believe, I have to read the email a little more carefully, but I believe what it was is the dome of a styrofoam ball on top of a pumpkin, and then putting her flowers in on top of that. So you don't even have to carve the pumpkin. Brilliant. Right up there with the brick in a box. Mm-hmm. I mean, simple and brilliant. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Christmas vignette inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have one. I'm going to take my wee glass from my yogurt. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put pebbles in it, and then I'm going to plant one paperwhite in it.
Oh, how darling.
I mean, it's just screaming for a paperwhite to be put in a vignette.
Well, so let's talk about paperwhites for just a second, because Yvonne practically demanded that I bring back my wooden trough from the farm.
Yes, I did.
Honey, it was hard getting it in the car, but I brought that puppy back.
Oh, good.
So I got to clean it out. And I just ordered 40 paperwhites on Amazon. I'll include a link. But
are you going to put all 40 in?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my!
Wouldn't that be gorgeous?
Now that's the vignette of all vignettes.
Yeah, you kind of pushed me for it,
Well, could you put maybe little Christmas balls or little pine cones?
Oh, now she's really getting pushy.
Just come over here and just do it, would you?
Yeah, just drive it to
Anita. I would love to.
Okay, so we've got now, Yvonne kicked us off with a little item that would go into a vignette. So Yvonne, what would you put with that little bowl while you're watching it grow?
I could see maybe 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them, probably 3 because we like odd numbers, in a long wicker basket with very short sides. Mm-hmm. And I could see Christmas balls and greenery and maybe pine cones and really short candles all in this long thing. So because remember, they're going to get very tall. And I just think the juxtaposition of them getting tall with all this low, beautiful, other Christmas decor would look so nice. And in a natural basket to give a little nod to the natural paperwhites.
Oh, I like that idea.
And I've seen online somebody, I think it may have been Dear Lily, a very large boxwood wreath. Mm-hmm. And then full of paperwhites inside the wreath.
Oh, stunning.
Just
stop it.
Gorgeous.
Now, wait. Is the boxwood wreath laying?
Yeah, it's flat.
Horizontal?
It's flat, horizontal.
And then in the hole in the center.
Yes. Yes. And then I think there may have been something, to raise it up a bit, but
there had to be something to raise up that boxwood because you've got to have the depth for the bolts.
It just took my breath away. I thought,
get out of town. Seriously.
Stop right now.
Just stop it.
That's a good one. Oh,
and that in itself is a vignette. I mean,
and Dear Lily, you can just rely on them for pulling out the good stuff. I mean, all the time.
She's wonderful.
But talk about pulling out. So here I am with my bins, and I was really very pleasantly surprised at how I had put away my Christmas decor last year because we were still
yourself on the back.
I had to say, I thought kind of once that the bins started to come out, there might be tinsel hanging out of them and stuff because we were still a bit under construction last year, and so it was a little harried. But I did take my advice that I give out all the time: is I purged after Christmas. The stuff that was kind of didn't really make it. Was given away and was not there anymore. So I had a very controlled number of boxes. But here I am, you open the box and I even had written on it, what that generally was. But, the stuff gets mixed up. It's Christmas stuff, right? Or you stick something in at the end. So I was pulling out a mini tree. Okay, so now I have a mini tree and then I have an oversized ornament and you have this other thing. And so all these sort of disparate pieces were coming out of the bins, and I was making vignettes out of them as fast as they were coming out of the box.
Well, I was going to say, you pull something out, you pull 5 things out and go, that's a vignette. And then the next 5 things you pull out and go, that's a vignette.
So if you had a mini tree, right? Okay, so what could you put with a mini tree? Everybody's probably got a mini tree in their collection. How about a candle and a giant pine cone, not a little tiny little pine cone, a nice sized pine cone or an oversized ornament. Bam, you've got the threes, you've got the varying heights, you've got different textures. You've got a vignette, ladies.
Yes. There you go.
Right?
Well,
Very
and
easy.
to add on to what you're saying, I love an organic element in my vignette. And I was just somewhere and there was a gorgeous aged clay pot and it was full of beautiful lavender plants. So I love the idea of, so lavender plants or a rosemary tree or olive trees. I mean, you can do the faux or the real. I think this just adds so much beauty to a vignette and it gives you the height. So, but also the paper whites would do the same thing or the little faux Christmas tree. I mean, I think you really want that height and to add that organic element of the plant, I think adds so much just refreshment to the room.
And I love those little cedar trees. You can get them in lime green.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
that really is chartreuse green, right?
They are, but put them in another pot. Just don't leave them in the pots they come. And that could be the base. And they come as high as maybe, I'm going to say 18 inches, but you can also get them about 6 inches tall. And they would work wonderfully with like a lantern and a bowl of pine cones. That would look really pretty together.
Hey, Yvonne, do you want to just take a step back for anybody who's just joining or just discovered decorating tips and tricks? We're jumping right into the vignettes, because we're thinking everybody's been with us all along. Do you want to just give a quick overview of what a vignette is and, the heights and the textures and all that good stuff?
Yes, really quick, because I love vignettes. A vignette is a little grouping of items that you have that tell a story of some kind or like give a nod to a story. So when we're doing Christmas vignettes, we're going to pull out things. They don't have to all be the same, but they sort of give a little nod to Christmas. And it could be like, the tall little cedar, that's something organic, and you have to look at textures and vary your heights, use odd numbers. Don't get too many things in there. So you're going to do a tree, and maybe I would say like a lantern, and then, like I said, a bowl of pine cones. And that talks about being out in the woods, maybe in the night with your lantern, looking around. It's just really pretty. And everything should be corralled in one area, not necessarily. I'd like to see something in a basket, a tray, on a swath of beautiful fabric, but it doesn't have to be. But when you corral something together, it makes it look like all one element. There you go.
Yes. Perfect.
Well said.
Yeah.
So you've got your tall thing, and then I think it's nice to add something really, maybe add some color to the vignette. So I love using a big, maybe a Mercury ball ornament or, those are my favorite. I mean, you can go with, it doesn't have to have color. You can have the silver or you can have, just a beautiful color, a rich burgundy or pink or even some other colors in there. But they're just beautiful to have a big, and I have some really oversized ornaments. So I think I would throw one of those in there.
I love that idea. And this is just a shout out. Last week I was at Home Goods. Like I always say, I'm always at Home Goods. And I picked up so many boxes of silver and gold mercury glass balls. They are gorgeous.
Oh, stop it. Oh, I'm glad you don't go to mine because I get those.
They had lots and lots of them. I almost thought about clearing the shelves because you really could use them, but I was restrained.
Okay.
Save some for the other
I only
people.
cleared 5 shelves. I was restrained.
Yeah. I only bought 5 boxes. There were a few left. The other thing when you're talking about color, how about using a bowl of cranberries or that's really my favorite, or a like an antique or vintage white bowl filled with pomegranates.
Oh, so
great
pretty.
idea.
And then I would put greens in the box. I like to see that probably in something square and long, and then put greens all around it, and maybe put a pitcher in there, and then you've got this beautiful bowl of these gorgeous rosy pomegranates. And then I probably would use like those snowy painted looking, again, pine cones come up a lot because I use them from October till March.
Well, they add that nice organic element.
They
to the
do something
room.
very organic and something very textural as well.
Mm-hmm. And I love the use of ornaments in a vignette, Christmas ornaments, especially like I said, the Mercury ones. Oh, I just love them. And you could put them in a dough bowl. You could use the big ones maybe by itself. You can even get a little Christmas tree and get small little ornaments and put them on there.
Oh, yes.
You can put them in really any kind of container. And I know Yvonne loves to put them in a lantern.
Yes.
Yeah,
and another
that's
thing I
really
did this year I used silver, gold, all metallics with a little hint of like a celadon green. And I put some of them in a big candle holder, it has a silver base and it's real round. And then it comes up like almost like a tulip. And I filled the whole thing with all different sizes of those colors. And then I used another one that I actually had a big, like a pedestal jar. And I just fill them up with that. And I have something that really looks good to use as a base. And this is what I used. I just took a bunch of that flaky faux snow and spread it all around and put my vignette in it. So I've got
where did you get your faux snow?
You know what? This is terrible. I keep collecting it year after year. I bought it like maybe 4 years ago at Pottery Barn.
Oh, do you ever use the Epsom salts?
No, I like this because it's almost like if you look at it individual, it looks like little shredded pieces of white plastic, but it's so light looking and airy. So I sort of make a corral or a base using the snow. And then I put my pedestaled jar in that had all the different color ornaments. And I put a couple little tiny white bottle brush Christmas trees. And then I have that sweet little lamb. I got a lamb with a crown from one of our dear friends, and we're going to be Edith and Evelyn Vintage. And I've had more people ask about that little lamb. So snow is a really good way to use as a base. And like you were saying, ornaments, so fun.
Yeah, snow is a great thing to also cover up some things that you might want to be covering up. I was laughing to myself last night as I'm doing my porch in the dark. But you know what you do to sort of build things up and then sort of hide either what you've used to build them up, like how Dear Lily must have hidden something under that boxwood wreath, right? You know, to make that happen, right? So I was doing that last night, and then on top of it, then I put a string of lights around it, but then I didn't want to see the wires. I just wanted to see the glow. So then I had moss out. I was doing the whole thing. But getting back to creating, you know, a little triad, a little vignette of 3 or 5 or an uneven number. I love using ornaments this time of year too. Sometimes you just have too many to make it onto the tree, or I find that sometimes some of the ornaments are just too heavy for the, especially if you're a real tree.
You're right.
Or you want to highlight them.
Right.
But particularly if it's a round ornament, you might have trouble making it stay put. So my tip there is to take a little bit of painter's tape, the blue. I guess you could get it in different colors too, but then just fold it over so it's kind of double faced. And then just make a little round of that and put it under your ball, and then it will stay in place.
Or even just they have a little bit of that it's like, it feels like a pliable wax.
Yeah.
That you use to put
museum
in a candlestick,
right,
or a museum putty, and you can do that too.
Right. So something to hold it in place. The other thing, I was laughing to myself, especially when my daughter was like, "I'm hungry." I started to, I started to think about food, and I was thinking about vignettes, and I was thinking, you know what? In the most basic sense, like a vignette is make it a meal, right? Because you just don't have the hamburger, right? You've got the soda or the drink, which is tall with the straw. So you've got height. Then you've got the round burger,
oh my goodness.
And then you've got the fries.
She needs a vacation.
Right? And then the fries are like texture, and they're adding something else.
Gosh.
And then like that is if you think about it, that's like the perfect vignette.
This is the peek into the mind of a decorator.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's skipping from French fries back to the boxwoods.
Next time you make a vignette, I guarantee both of you, what's going to run through your head is make it a meal.
Next time I have a hamburger, that's what I'm going to think of. I'm going to have to vignette my plate,
Yeah.
I bet you do. I bet you can't control yourself. I bet you do. Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
I have another element to put in our vignette. Mm-hmm. I love to see a little nest that has either like little tiny pine cones, little tiny balls, something small and very Christmassy. You know, you can put snow in that as well. I'm really into snow this year. Like everything in my house is covered with like this flaky snow.
That's a good idea. I may have to get some snow this year. Well,
and you can also do this. You can also put spray a little glitter on your nest and it makes it extra pretty.
Well, I think you could spray glitter on everything.
Well, yes, I do. I have a confession. I really don't like glitter. I mean, I love the look of it, but I hate to have it all over myself. Oh,
yeah. You leave a little glitter trail then.
Yeah, I was spraying some glitter and it never just comes out and sticks on what you want. Like I was doing some pine cones with it and I had glitter on my eyelashes, on my fingers, and everything I touched was glitter.
Yeah, haven't they come out with a glitter spray yet?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I just used like a spray adhesive and then glittered.
Yeah. Then you get it all over yourself.
How about candy canes? Oh, I'm sorry. Candy canes.
I would say it again.
Candy canes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
What about like a mug of candy canes with some greens in it?
Yeah, that's so cute.
Or a pitcher, a small pitcher.
Well, I know you use a lot of greens.
I do use
decorating.
a lot of greens.
I really like that idea. And you can use the faux ones, or you can go to your home store, your big box store that sells trees, and they usually have some greenery that has fallen off the trees that they'll give you.
Oh, you think you could just pick it up? What do you think? You're me?
Well, you just go in the store. There's usually a box.
I'm just going to go around the neighborhood and drag all the stuff home. I did that too yesterday.
Here's the thing for me. I used live greens for decades, but you have to change them. And I love just cutting sprigs and putting them everywhere. I just don't like the droppage. So about maybe not even 10 years ago, I started collecting really good faux greens, and I'd wait till they were on sale, and I would get a little every year. And I just have like the best collection now that I just loved it, like garland, really great looking garland. I pull it all apart and separate all the different greens into boxes and just open up those boxes and create from there. And really, my rule is if you can't tell it's not real from a foot away.
Don't tell us from a foot away. I thought it was 3 feet.
The greens are foot away.
Oh my God. Okay. Greens are different. It's a different distance.
Because greens can look pretty bad.
Okay. So she's got a rule if you've missed it.
Yeah.
You can have a fake plant.
Right.
If you can't tell from 3 feet away that it's fake, but the
Right.
greenery, you have to be able to not tell at 1 foot.
I think what Yvonne might be saying is like greenery, the bar is lower anyway. Is that what you're saying? Right?
No,
I think the
she's
bar's
saying it
higher.
has to look good even up to a foot away.
No, but I'm saying like greenery is not as well made.
Definitely
So
not
you have
as
to be more
well-made.
careful. You have to be more discerning in the greenery
And that's
department.
why I usually go to smaller decor stores in my local area. Everybody has them, and I look for them there, and you'll pay a little more, but they're so worth it because, often on my blog, people will write to me and say, is that real or is that fake? Or they just don't know. And I even had on my Facebook page, is this real or is this faux? And, people know me, so they know I use a lot of faux. So I'm going to stick a real one in there sometime.
Okay. Well, I think the greenery is a wonderful thing to use in a vignette. And sometimes you just need something like that to unify the pieces. It makes such a difference just to maybe clip a little boxwood or use a faux green or something like, even sometimes when I get the Christmas trees, right? And if they're going to shave off the bottom part, give you a fresh cut when you go buy your tree.
Yes.
And whatever they cut off, just ask them to clip those branches for you too. And you can take those home. Or when you get it home, sometimes you don't need all of that on the bottom. Might be getting in the way of all those empty boxes you're wrapping up and all that stuff. So you might clip some.
Let's hope you're not wrapping too many empty boxes.
And that's anymore. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to stick into pictures or in between things. Like, and if it dries out in a week, then go out in the yard and pick a little something else. Or, you enjoyed it for a week and now it's done.
Just not loving the mess of that. I do have another thing that you can go out and pick in the wild like you do or get from your neighbor's trash can or wherever you go is branches. And we have a bunch of fruit trees, so they're beautiful. They're a little snarly and fun.
Yeah.
And spray paint them white, silver, or gold.
Ooh.
And you can keep them from year to year. And I love them in a long glass cylinder.
Pretty.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, or some greenery with some red berries.
That would be so pretty. But here, let's talk about this. Let's say you don't have, if you want to do something a little longer. I just ordered, now they're like a hard cardstock, almost like a paper mache, little tiny houses that I'm going to spray paint white.
Oh,
and
that'll
use
be
the
pretty.
Snow in the little white bottle brush trees.
Oh, like a little village.
And you can make a little elongated village.
What a great
village.
idea.
Yes.
Well,
There
and the
you go.
bottle brush trees, I'm all over those. I love them. The small ones, the tall ones, the pink ones, the green ones, the white ones.
I have like the white or the off-white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're
But
all
wouldn't
so
that be pretty?
Right.
I mean,
and
there's
a little
such a
bottle
classic
bush
look.
tree is perfect. Like, so now you've got maybe, I don't know, an amaryllis bulb blooming in a pot, and you put a candle
pretty.
next to it, and then put a medium-sized bottle bush tree. Bam! You've got a Christmas
And a little
vignette.
house. Don't forget to
And
do
you
a
could
little
stick
white
in a little
house.
too.
Yes. And hey, I have another thing I just wanted to mention when we were talking about buying like a real like cypress or some kind of little tree. put it in. Remember we were talking how much we love champagne buckets?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in a champagne bucket with either Spanish moss or some kind of filler around it, and then put like pine cones all in the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be beautiful around the base in the
Around the
Spanish
base,
moss?
yeah.
Well, in the Spanish moss.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got this really beautiful, and then just maybe stick a small candle, a small couple little white houses, a couple bottle brushes around that to make sure it doesn't look like the cheese stands alone. You know what I'm saying? You don't want
make
one
it a
thing
meal. You don't want the cheese to stand
Stop
alone.
with the food references.
The whole
I'm
point of
leaving.
today's episode. No cheese
Okay.
or burger stands alone.
That's
Hey, I did
right.
one thing last night. I was thinking about you guys because I always have a tray. I'm always thinking about you guys, but I always have a
stop it.
tray out on the glass table on my porch,
Mhm.
and that's my corral, for my vignette.
Mhm.
And I took it away because I just didn't go with the Christmas thing I was doing. I said I want to try something totally different. But I was struggling with, well, how am I going to make this seem cohesive? So I found in a bin a runner, and it probably was a tea towel, and it has a pretty little embroider on it. Not my initials, but somebody's. And I thought, okay, this is perfect. So I laid that down, and then I have an enamelware pot with no lid, bright red. That I had bought. Yeah, so I don't use that very often. So I put, I used up my spray paint can spraying the sleigh. So I had the cap. And so I put the cap in the bottom and I taped it down. And then I put a little tree on top of it because it needed some height, right? And then I put...
Come on.
So then I put moss around the tree. So now I have the tree in the pot, and that looks very nice and it's tall. And then I have this linen tea towel sort of diagonally across the table. And I thought, okay, but now it's going to be hard to vignette this with other things. What is going to be my burger and fries here, because it's kind of wide, and it's like a large pot. Like you would boil pasta water in it, something. It's pretty big. So everything next to it didn't look right.
Yeah.
So what I did was, now my three things are the tea towel, the tree in the pot, because that's acting as one thing, and it just needed one more thing. And I had this little jar full of small ornaments, like the ones that are about an inch gold little ornaments. And I just tossed, let them roll, like I was rolling dice on the tea towel.
Oh,
wow.
Are you going to blog about that?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I hope
I can't
I hope
wait.
they didn't blow off last night. It was pretty still last night, but you never know. So anyway, that's, you might not think, I guess that my point of that story is, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a candle, a pitcher of flowers, and I'm trying to think of a third thing, like a very typical
bowl of
thing.
something.
A willow ball. Like you can think out of the vignette box sometimes, depending on the pieces that you have, and it might work. But you wouldn't have thought in your head, like this big pot and this sort of small tree, and then these little ornaments. Like that's not going to look good, but it looks good. I think it looks good. You guys can tell me if it looks good when you see it.
Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
Hey, can I think out of the vignette box for a second?
Please, yeah.
All right. Now, if you have a little spot in your house that's sort of bare, get a little wooden chair. Yes, and maybe you could spray paint it black or red, or you just go to, if you live near Kelly, you just go to her house, knock on the door, and claim a chair orphan.
Yeah, I'll have
She has so many. Yeah. She has a chair for you if you come. Anyway, you just get like a really cheap chair with a tall back, spray paint it or paint it whatever color. I love, I'm sort of a black and white sort of girl. And then we're talking about those trees. We love our trees. Put a potted tree on the seat, sort of to one side, drape a beautiful tartan in Christmas colors. I have one that's black and white with a little bit of red in it. It's so pretty. And then just put a lantern with greens at the base of the foot by one of the chair legs.
Nice.
Now
Very
you have
nice.
filled up a space with
Yes.
a vignette.
That's a multi-leveled vignette. I like it.
Mhm.
Yes, I love that. And I just want to throw out a couple more
Okay.
thoughts because we did talk about the boxwood wreaths, but boxwood balls are wonderful stacked in
Oh,
something or at the top of a candlestick or in a dough bowl or in a regular bowl. Sometimes I just have them sitting on their own. And the other thing I truly love to put in a Christmas vignette is an angel.
Oh,
So I have some wooden carved angels that are really pretty, and I think there's so many beautiful ones. And to be honest with you, I love decorating with angels year round. So this is the time of year that as the Christmas decor kind of goes on sale because the season's almost over, that's when I nab my angels because some of them really look good year round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is when I grab
Another
them.
thing I love to put in a vignette are reindeers.
Oh, reindeer. Yes.
They're my favorite animal.
oh,
They're
yeah.
just, I thought reindeers were like really big. They're these little miniature things. They're just real tiny. The first one I saw one in real life, I was like, okay, this animal I love. Because they're just deer. And we were talking a lot.
they are just deer.
I think they're a specific type of deer. They're not a whitetail.
Yeah, they're
No,
DEAR and they're DEER.
That's right.
Vignetting, it's now a verb.
Yes, and we're going to put that in the great big book of DTT words along with cross-holidation and a few others.
yes.
So it has been so wonderful to chat with you, high speed for me today and informative as always from Anita and Yvonne. So we're here to remind you that we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey, everybody. We want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com,
or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.